Valve notoriously only comes out of the woodworks to create a video game when they want to revolutionize something in the space. Examples of this being Half-Life 1 and 2 for what they did to the storytelling FPS genre, Portal 1 and 2 for 3D puzzle games, Dota 2 for MOBAs, and Half-Life Alyx for VR, which is constantly cited as the best VR game and one of the main reasons to buy a VR headset in the first place. And it makes a lot of sense. Why would Valve need to step off of their cushy throne above the Steam empire to go risk creating a video game when they don't have to? Hilariously, it leaves a giant company ending up only creating games when they sort of feel like it. So as a massive trading card nerd, when I heard that they were going to be releasing Artifact, a Dota 2 based trading card game in 2018, I was pretty excited. Not excited to buy the game, but I was hoping to hear good things and see their success. And I think we all know what happened with that. But how did it happen? How did a game go from 60,000 players on release to now struggling to maintain 50 players a day? Artifact is one of the biggest and one of the only times that Valve has failed miserably. Now, upon loading up Artifact, I can see players looking for matches, a whopping 1, and then on top of that, a giant negative 113 error on my screen, which I assume was meant to be a news pop-up. There is some pretty fantastic main menu music, which you should be hearing in the background now, and even a global chat with at least a few messages spanning 8 a.m. this morning. Upon heading over to my profile, I can see that I have a 31% card unlock percentage, so I own around 30% of the cards, even though I've never played the game before. Now, that might actually be a really good thing. Getting a lot of the cards for free is often one of the harder parts of these online trading card games. But what's the point of free cards if you don't actually have anyone to play against? Hopefully there's some sort of good single player experience here. I know that's something they actually worked on later in the development. They ended up actually splitting off Artifact into 2 different games, Artifact Classic and Artifact Foundry. I'm currently playing the Foundry edition. That was the later adapted one to more fit a single player experience since they realized their game was dying. Heading over to my card collection for the first time, we get to see the artwork of things. And I'm going to be honest, this Greevil artwork is pretty disappointing. A lot of the other cards do get a lot more detailed and honestly follow a pretty specific, distinct style. I really like this, Keith the Bold, Legion Commander. I've played a couple hundred hours of Dota. I'm absolutely terrible at it, but it's cool to see the crossover of those characters over to this game. I was always a huge fan of Tidehunter. So it seems like just the Greevils themselves, which operate as the couriers within the game, have a totally different art style, which I could see as being an interesting choice. Troll Warlord, another one of my personal favorites. That's all the creatures up here. We then go on to see the actual different types of cards. This is a spell card. There's creeps. There's heroes. You can see on the top left-hand side over there. Then you also have tower enchantments. Faction. This is another creep card. Spell cards. Give caster damage immunity. I assume that's protection or so from a turn. Okay, but enough analyzing, enough stalling for content. Is the game actually good? There is a campaign that I want to go ahead and jump into. Now, I'm guessing there's going to be some huge flaw because I don't understand how a card game could fail this drastically. I mean, sometimes it does just happen. It's really, really hard to become a successful card game that sticks around for more than 5 years. The reality is most card games just fail. One of the number one things that I see in failed card games is the lack of instance. Having a way to interact with your opponent on their turn is super, super crucial in my opinion. Something like instance in Magic the Gathering or like setting trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon kind of gets the pass because it's more of a friendly, younger audience and less competitive. I've been saying for years that Hearthstone desperately needs some sort of instantaneous interaction with your opponent on their turn, but that's enough of that preamble. Let's jump into the actual campaign. Welcome to the Artifact Foundry. This tutorial will introduce you to the core concepts of the game through a series of short scenarios. If you'd rather jump in, you can skip the tutorial for now. I'm going to go ahead and do the tutorial, even though I understand, I would say card games quite well. I'm going to assume heroes are going to be similar to creatures in any other typical game. Waiting for opponent. Why is it mobile? Is this game on mobile? This UI is so funny to me. Maybe they're just trying to really get you to zone in and focus on the center aspect, but it's very funny. There's nothing happening over here. It's just this one little skinny type of visual. The type of thing you would see on a mobile phone or while watching like a YouTube short or something. Deploy mid. This is an ancient. Your goal is to destroy the enemy's ancient. So your ancient is going to be your HP. Okay, pretty typical stuff. Protect your own. This is a hero card. Heroes are powerful units capable of casting spells. So you need the heroes themselves to be able to cast the spells. Drag this hero on the board to deploy it. You can deploy in different positions. We're going to go mid. So it's going to be like a mid, top, bottom thing, similar to other MOBAs. We're going to confirm the deployments. This is the hero's attack. It's a 5/6 creature. Sure. Moving on. Let's see. During combat, the hero will battle whatever its target is. In this case, that's the enemy's ancient. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and destroy the ancient. Do 5 damage. Okay, really, really simple stuff. Pass to your opponent. Keep initiative. I like that this specifically says that. Keeping initiative is not something you introduce to a new player generally. The player with the initiative at the beginning of the round goes first. Proceed to combat phase. I like that they're going to break it down phase by phase from the get-go. I think learning phases is better as a new player to a card game versus later on. I think learning them from the get-go, you avoid a lot of bad habits. All right, next situation, we've got a 1/1 creep facing down a 1/1 creep. We've got a Crystal Maiden over here. We're going to deploy our creature to the mid. We're going to confirm that. They're going to auto go into combat, destroy it in 2 rounds. That's totally okay. I wonder, yeah, so if I'm 1 HP, so I place it over here, I think they would have actually killed me first. I don't know what happens in a situation like that, if they attack me first or if I attack them first. Yep, we pass, of course. Let combat initiate. Let these two fight. The opponent passes as well. Combat phase. So you both have an opportunity to play cards and interact before combat happens. Yep, of course, we're going to go into combat here and attack the ancient. It has 1 HP. We all know what's going to happen. All right, mission 2 complete. Ancient destroyed. We learned a little bit about creeps. Moving on. We've got a spell card. I'm curious to see how required that is. Deploy mid. So we're going to go ahead and deploy him. Here's fine. Deal 3 damage to enemy, direct damage. I don't know if they've introduced me to mana yet. So in the top left-hand corner, I can see a little 2 symbol, which I assume that's like the mana or some sort of cost to play this. I don't know what the star means. I don't know if that just means it's a spell. Let's go ahead and see if I can... Both ancients were destroyed. So what I can do is obviously do 3 damage. Well, I'm trying to do 3 damage to the Crystal Maiden. That will result in a tie. Okay, so ties actually probably are a somewhat common thing in this game, which is not something you normally see in card games. We'll draw new cards every round. Playing cards uses mana. Okay, now we're finally... I am shocked. We're getting into mana a little late, I would say, but that's okay. Where is my mana? How do I see how much mana I have? Surprised they don't cover that first things first. Graveyard over here is pretty interesting, though. That's cool. We'll proceed to combat phase and win this little step 3 tutorial. Perfect. Next up, shopping. Now, this is a really unique mechanic you don't often see in card games that I assume they're going to incorporate from the MOBA genre, from the MOBA aspect of it. I'm really excited to see. 5 gold plus 1 this combat. So you will actually gain gold. Killing enemies earns gold. That'll be 1 gold for creeps, 5 gold for heroes. I'm excited to see how they incorporate that, almost a buy aspect, even similar to like CSGO in certain ways. To be totally honest, in this situation, I would go ahead and just proceed to combat. I don't really have a reason to go ahead and do direct damage to anything here. I would just let this play out. Let's see what happens. Like, I do 5 damage to her. We just continue through, gain some gold. Shopping phase. Show me the shopping phase. What? Ooh, the shopkeeper. A dagger is going to be +2 attack, I assume. 6 gold. Sure, that's the only thing we can buy. So the way you draw cards, is that always going to be how you gain cards to your hand, is by shopping? You never actually like draw cards from your... I'm really curious to see what they do with that. No, you get both. You get both. That monstrously switches up how the game is played. Card advantage is one of the most important things in any card game. When you're able to not only draw cards from it, you're basically drawing 2 cards a turn if you have the gold for it. That's a really, really big deal. That could really help. That monstrously encourages aggro strategies and even combo strategies, if that's a thing. I feel like that's going to deter control strategies, which could be a positive or negative. We'll see. how people feel. It depends on personality. Now the thing is, you probably just want to go ahead and... I don't know my mana, though. I still don't know how much mana... Oh, 4 out of 4 over here. Okay. Pretty simple. So I would go ahead and just kill this. And that's going to allow me to do direct damage. And I could do... I have 2 mana left. I probably want to do direct damage to the Ancient itself, which I think... Oh, you can't do. 2 damage to an enemy. Choose enemy unit. So when it says that, you actually can't do direct damage with these, which is kind of shocking. So it's not like a lightning bolt. Okay, it's not like a lightning bolt in Magic the Gathering, or even a lightning strike, it costing 2 mana. So I actually weirdly don't have a path to victory here. What I'll do is just go ahead and put an upgrade on this guy. That's fine for the time being, and then go into combat. I'll have 1 extra mana. That's fine. I don't have enough mana, hilariously, to direct damage this guy. There we go. -7. Mission failed? Wait, did I mess... Wait. Did I miss lethal in the tutorial? Wait, really? I must have done something really wrong. 5 gold for heroes. Wait. Am I a noob? What happened? How did I miss lethal here? Do they actually need me to... Is it really beneficial to do direct damage? To use my mana in a way that carries over the damage? That's so strange. I don't like that they're teaching you to do this. They're teaching you... I guess because it's a time frame thing. They're teaching you to do... I don't like that they're teaching you this. Usually you wouldn't want to do small little bits of damage like this. You want to hold your hand and conceal the information until you can actually obliterate your opponent. They're teaching you mana efficiency. Ugh, it's awkward. I don't love that. We're going to grab the dagger. Same thing as last time. I also have, to be fair, I also have more gold this time because I killed the hero last turn. Okay. So this is going to be a good example of, I do need to think of this as a nude card game. I think I always jump into a nude card game and I play it as if it's Magic the Gathering. This is the game I have the most experience with. By far. But now I see, obviously, the basic play. Put that on. Kill this. Now we have 8. Now we have lethal. Interesting. I'm shocked that they teach you to do incremental chip damage like that and be... I probably just more of an aggressive game in general. It's such an aggressive... like, in Magic the Gathering, that previous play would have been so greedy. It would have been so darn greedy, right? To do damage and try to kill them in that turn. Versus just continuing over. It's so interesting. Blooming Wall. So this is sort of a defensive control card. 0/4 wall. Pretty common. 4 mana? 4 mana for a 0/4 wall? Is there some other benefit that it has going on? That seems crazy expensive. I don't know what the mana cost... If there is no mana cost for this guy. I have a lot to learn, clearly, with Artifact. Confirm. Destroy the enemy ancient in 2 rounds. Here's the Blooming Wall. Heroes and non-item cards come in 4 colors. If there's no heroes matching a card's color, it can't be played. Okay, that's fine. So I can't play because I don't have a green. What is this? So is it 4 armor as well? 4 armor and 4 health? I don't know how that mechanic, how the armor mechanic will work. Yeah, it's okay. Armor, exactly. Armor absorbs this much damage incoming each round. Okay, that's pretty crazy. So it regens, I assume, each round, whereas health damage persists across rounds. Okay. That's actually kind of a monster to get through. That's pretty impressive. In this situation, I would just pass turn. Don't have much to do here. We'll just take care of the Crystal Maiden. What is the benefit of this card? Why is it so weak? Probably just so you can play blue cards, I assume. Maybe there's some other effect that I'm missing. Shopping phase. The dagger will grab. Nothing really super interesting here. Just continue. I clicked view shop instead of continue. Deploy all heroes. Okay, so they're just going to teach me to play. I don't really have to do any of this, though. I can just play the dagger. They're going to die anyway. I could just go ahead and even attack. Oh, they're going to summon Tiny. Okay, Tiny. That's kind of cool. Now they're going to play green cards. I see. So they want me to deploy this to stall out Tiny, which I can happily do, to allow me to get off lethal damage and go for the win. I do like this little hover of the skull to let you know how much damage is incoming. I'm a huge fan of the game calculating that for you. I think it's a little funny when games don't really do that. You kind of have to just do the math yourself. I think it's more skill-based when the game does the math for you. You kind of can just plan around more strategically and focus more of your time and energy on actually getting a correct plan versus doing little head math, right? And like kind of the visual clarity of that. So it's cool to see that. I like that they do that. It's a really, really good little touch. And it even shows you the damage sources like Mogul Khan, aka Axe, and then Farvon. It shows that they're both going to do 5 damage, doing 10 damage to it this turn. I want to click on Tiny's card a little more. It's a great hero in Dota. Been, you know, notoriously in the metagame and kind of relevant for a long time. Once again, not a huge Dota buff, but I enjoy keeping a loose eye on it. There we go. Mission complete. Unit enchantments and auras are up next. I'm going to go ahead and just blast through the rest of the tutorial, and I will see you guys with any super relevant plot points. But other than that, I want to actually get into the campaign and see what makes Artifact cook. But I will say, the tutorial is continuing to teach me sort of bad habits. Like, it made me play this enchantment on Axe this turn, which I don't feel is very good because I'm doing more damage to Crystal Maiden in the process. It's all very mana efficiency based and like a time frame thing, but that would be less of an issue when you're playing less of a time crunch and more of a long-term sequence. So I feel like in the tutorial, I've seen them teach you like 2 bad habits that I really wouldn't recommend. Me equipping my enchantment here, it opens it up to have more chances to be destroyed, more chances to be interacted with. I don't like playing the enchantment here as opposed to just killing the Crystal Maiden and then having the enchantment still in my arsenal to play properly the next turns. It feels very strange. Why would you ever play the enchantment this turn just for a mana efficiency versus in the next upcoming turns? But I guess it depends how much. I just don't know what cards exist in the game. I don't know how much enchantment interaction there truly is. I really, really do like the restriction of not being able to play certain colored cards without having the certain type of hero on the field. I think that creates for really, really interesting deck building, which I'm excited to see. All right, took care of my opponent there. There's the enchantment and aura. Mission complete. Next up is lane. So we will be covering lanes in a little more detail, which makes sense. Here we go. Now we're getting interesting. I respect them keeping it single laned for the tutorial. This is where things, I mean, easily triple in complexity. You've got Tusk, Faravon. I don't know which hero this represents, if it is one. Tusk, Faravon, I'm just going to call Mogul Axe. Everybody knows it's Axe. So far, your battle has just involved 1 lane. The Tale of the Eternal Battle requires 3 lanes. Yes, this is where I'm more excited. More lanes mean more heroes to deploy, yup, and more complexity. 7 lanes deployed simultaneously. Neither player knows their opponent's position. Neither player knows their... Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. What do they have? Tiny, Crystal Maiden, and Skywrath Mage. Okay. What are all the HPs here? 7 HP, a 3-4, a 5-7, and a 2-3. If I want to kill all of them, I would need 7 damage. If I want to kill most of them, I would need 5. I think Axe is easily the best play here. He can't be killed by any of them. Whereas these 2 could get killed by Tiny. So I'll go ahead and make the Axe play here. Do you play all of them? Are you supposed to play all of them like this? That seems kind of crazy. No, okay. I'm going to put Axe there. Confirm. Perfect. We have the Tiny matchup. That's what you want. The second hero is deployed to the opposite side. Either of these heroes can now beat the next hero. For sake, we'll put Tusk over here. Confirm. And now that I know, it's interesting. You have to like, you do it in opposite order for so the middle lane you do simultaneously, and then in the next 2 lanes you actually can have the chance to counter your opponent. That's I like that design. This is already, Artifact is way more complicated than I expected. I expected a pretty simple MOBA card game from them to just sort of not milk the Dota franchise, but milk a little, take advantage of that and just present a pretty simple, fun little experience. But maybe that's why Artifact failed. Maybe it was too complicated, but usually Valve does manage to draw in a more hardcore audience. I'm really confused. To why this game failed. The goal has changed. Destroy 2 towers or the Ancient. The first tower. Destroy another tower. So these are towers? Interesting. So you have to destroy all... Destroying all... Newly space ancient. So you have to destroy all towers, I believe, to get to the ancient? I like the back of the card as well. Very small little touch, but the back of the card is nice. And the coin constantly flipping. Having some sort of animation on your screen in a card game, unironically, really important for player focus and just maintaining that focus. Emboldening presence. So these guys won't get the effect because they're on the green side. Interesting. So if I got 3 mana, I probably just always play Emboldening Presence here. It's going to allow me to take out Tiny the same way, doing 3 damage to this wood. Excuse me. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and do that then. I definitely want to put it on Act. I don't know if it's going to affect this side of the field. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. That's my 3 mana. I'm pretty happy with this. Opponent has no actions, which normally wouldn't happen in the game, obviously. Combat resolves from left to right. Reverses each round. That is really complicated. That you have to remember. I like it. I love the complication. But you have to keep in mind, to the average player, you probably don't. This is I would argue this is overwhelming. Even to a card game veteran, this is overwhelming. Let alone to any non-card game player trying to... If you come from Hearthstone to this game, your brain's gonna explode. I don't know, like, what... That's tough. Play effect, heal 4. I mean, I'll happily pick that up. I have 13 gold. I think I'd rather... Oh, I have plenty of gold, actually. I'd rather pick that up. Should I just keep the gold? Is there a reason to grab... I'll do that. Oh, I got another pop. Okay, cool. We're gonna continue from there. I have a lot of cards in my hand, dude. Wow, the card advantage, the card draw you get is just ridiculous, honestly. That's so silly to me. And end in lane 1. Why did he say this? Tusk. Okay, so I definitely want to put a I want to heal my axe pretty easily, right? So we're gonna put it's gonna buff his attack a little bit and give him a huge heal, make him a 9/5. It's pretty 3 mana left. It's pretty ridiculous. I could put a few daggers. Probably what I do is I probably just place around a few daggers as opposed to doing the emboldening presence. I guess it'd be 3 mana for +4 damage versus 2 mana for +4 plus... No, I might as well just do this for mana efficiency. Okay, I'll just do this over here. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. And I have flexibility with my other 2 mana in the coming turns. Gonna continue over to combat phase. Yeah, so this time it's resolving from right to left. That switch up of resolution is really interesting. Creeps just constantly spawn like this, which is also interesting. I'm just gonna pass. I don't need more daggers. I'm fine. You're gonna play some cards finally, have some interaction with me, so you get all of your heroes back. That is so interesting. Your creeps have +1 and -1 bounty. He's playing some sort of... Okay. Ring aura. +1 defense? Your creeps have +1... Oh, +1 armor? That's really good. Oh, this guy... Only this guy has it. That is really good, to be fair. I could go ahead and put a dagger on this, but it's just going to get destroyed anyway. Man, this is in a weird position. I'm going to be honest. This is kind of a weird position. I could go... I think I put the blooming wall. I can't even do it over here because the green guys... Wow, this actually is... For a tutorial, this is just shockingly complicated. I'm going to be totally honest. For a tutorial, this feels shockingly in-depth, shockingly convoluted. There's so many factors with the 3 lanes to figure out. It's going to resolve from left. Let's go through each step. So we're resolving from left to right. I can't play anything over here. I can't move my creatures once they're on the field, I assume, correct? So this is just going to play. I'm going to take 5 damage. He'll go to 0. This tower will die. Is it worth to... Card advantage is so insane. But I might as well play some stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, what the hell the play is here. I think I need to be more open to just playing cards. I'm just going to play a creep over here. For 4 mana. For future things. I'm going to go ahead and place a... Oh, I can't even place a dagger on the minion. I was hoping to be able to place a dagger on the minion. I can't even do that. So I just hold it, unfortunately. So this guy's going to live. I just go to combat, I guess. But this guy's going to live but take some fair damage. I'm going to take 5 damage on this tower. I like that they do some damage to you. What is this? Blink Scroll. Move caster to an adjacent lane. This is a reward for destroying the enemy tower. So you do get rewards for destroying the tower. I'm going to buy the healing blade for sure. Oh my god, the game crashed. Artifact crashed. A game crash was not something I expected to have to worry about. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why. Maybe I should have, but hopefully my progress is saved. I kind of doubt it up until that point. We'll have to see. 0 out of 10 completed missions. Okay, I was expecting maybe my progress to not be saved up until that mission, but no. I just lost all of my tutorial progress. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just skip the tutorial. We're going to call that a freak accident. Surely that's not a common situation that most players have to deal with, so I'm going to try not to hold that against the game. Oh, wait, okay. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Excuse me. It did keep my progress. We're actually totally fine. Maybe this is just for the campaign. Okay, so this is completed missions for the campaign. This is tutorial. Okay, we're actually fine. Whew. Saved. Absolutely turbo saved. But then when trying to rejoin that game, cannot enter matchmaking. You're already in a game. Please leave that game first. You are already in a game. So far, your battlefield has just involved one lane. But the Tale of Eternal... It's giving me the beginner tutorial. But I'm also back in... round 4. The game is confused at what point of the game. So I think I'm just loaded back in to where I was at previously. I think I'm somehow fine. We took the 5 damage. Their ancient is exposed at 30. Interesting. Okay. They're actually going to manage to take out my move caster to an adjacent lane. Well, if I can do that. I wasn't able to buy cards from the shop, though, unfortunately. To an adjacent lane. Caster. So I have to move these over. So actually having... Man, so that means in the future, having like one red here, the green in the middle, and then the red on the side is actually ideal because then I can sort of switch up the colors wherever I need. But the problem is, if I want to like switch my Tusk, for example, I can only switch with this, which is not good. Move caster to an adjacent lane. That's like not... Yeah, that's not very good at all. It would just switch those. It's not... I don't want to worry about it. That's not powerful at all for my use, for my purposes. I probably go ahead... and just, I have 6 mana. I probably go ahead and just buff the hell out of Tusk and just get him to start doing insane damage to the Ancient. It's probably my best bet. That's really the best use I can think. Okay, he already has 2 equipments, it seems. It seems to be the best use of what I can do right now. Other than that, I don't really know. This guy's block. I could kill this guy and do like 5 more damage, but I guess that's kind of good. Like, the issue is, that honestly is kind of worth it. I'm going to go ahead and do kill this creep just so I can get 5 damage unblocked. Once again, a seemingly really greedy strategy. You wouldn't give up a card. You wouldn't pay the mana. You wouldn't do all of that just for like 5 more damage. Oh, I just won the tutorial? For what? For how so? You wouldn't normally do that in a card game. You would actually like play a lot more safer, slowly, and less greedy. Also, it seems like Tusk moved over. What is happening? Destroy 2 towers or the Ancient, round 1. Is this the next? I can't tell if this is the next tutorial or if they're redoing. Activate hero ability. Activated abilities cost 1 mana to use, but you'll have a cooldown. Click on your hero to view this. Battle all adjacent enemies. Ooh. That is... all adjacent? Like all of them on the... That'd be pretty crazy. It makes sense since his is it his Q in game is like a taunt similar to Rammus E in League. Okay, so we have 3 mana here. I'm gonna go ahead and probably put Emboldening Presence over here on my axe. Get him buffed up with our mana, and then we can get him to also battle in the future. I'm not gonna worry about battling now though. What happened here? Fully heal. This guy popped up on the field out of nowhere. We're going to go into combat here. We're going to trade a lot of damage all over the place. Your turns seem to happen semi-simultaneously, where you can both play creatures and such on the same turn, and then you could both mutually agree to go into combat. That might actually be a good system. Upgrade. Gain access to the next tier of items. Ooh, or reroll shop. That's pretty neat. Interesting option. We'll see the also shows a level 1 shop. Skip shopping and get 5 free gold. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that this turn. I have plenty of cards to play. I don't need more cards. I'd rather just take the gold. This is a tower enchantment. Enchant tower. Round 1. Deal damage to 1 to each enemy. Deal 1 damage to each enemy. Play effect. That's insane because you're constantly clearing the creeps. That's really, really, really good. And slowly clearing the enemy as well. I'm super down to do that, honestly. I'm probably gonna go ahead and play that. Question is, which side should I play it on? I can use Axe's ability to battle everything here, so I feel like playing that on the left side is actually more ideal, but playing it on this side allows me to get more damage through with my guy this turn. I'm going to go ahead and just do that here. It's kind of funny, but I'm going to go for it. Whenever Wall of Secrets takes damage, draw a card. Thankfully, it'll only take 2. That's a pretty sick card, though. Thankfully, it won't be around for very long. We're going to go into combat. Really focusing on my middle section here. Tiny's gonna take care of my tower on the left side. We're trading some solid damage, though. He got a blink scroll. I got a blink scroll. We both got blink scrolls. Okay, once again, more daggers I could grab. I'm gonna go ahead and skip again. It might be a little greedy. We'll see what happens. I have 5 mana this turn. Everything there gets chipped down. We could do Fire Strike over... Actually, no, we can't because it's red. It's a green zone versus a red card. We could do Blooming Wall to block Sky Mage. But even then, we're going to be at 1 HP still, so it doesn't really matter there. If I can interrupt this Tiny, it's good too, but I don't know if I really have a great path to that. What I could do... I could work on it by playing Fire Strike over here this turn. I'm going to do 1 damage to Tiny. And then I can start doing direct damage, like start to chip him down in a sec. I think that's fine. I could blink scroll here if I want to. I could even, well, what I could do here is really just activate my ability. I don't really need to here, but I have extra mana. I don't know if this is worthwhile. Might kind of be a waste of my mana, but I'm going to go for it. Take care of the Crystal Maiden. Get us a little more chip damage off against the Ancients. I think I'm ready for combat. I have 29 gold stocking up here pretty consistently, which is nice. Combat resolving from left to right. Tusk does go down. I died because I lost 2 towers, I think. Try again. Dude, I like that I'm losing. I'm gonna be honest. It's embarrassing for the video, but it's good. Like, it really shows how complicated the game truly is and how much I have to learn, which I like in a card game. Or things I feel like with things like Slay the Spire and Inscription, fantastic games. I feel like I learned them extremely quickly. Inscription less so, but you just power creep really hard in Inscription. Slay the Spire I learned really quickly, got obsessed with, played it for 25 hours and moved on. This game I'm like losing very early on, which is not something I'd usually experience in card games like this, but it's kind of refreshing. A funny thing here is that even though I have 3 mana, it might actually be hyper efficient for me to go ahead and... Man, part of me wants to go ahead and just use this ability to take care of all these creatures, but I don't know if it's super worth it. Part of me wants to, though. Turn 1. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try. This is kind of a greedy strategy. Just take everything out there. Turn 1 is super, super interesting. We do get access to... He Clerics. Fully heals Selfish Cleric after combat. Okay, that's his ability. Okay, I'm going to move onward. See if it can take it out this time. I need to be reading the goal a bit more clearer. So destroy 2 towers or the Ancient. I think going for 2 towers is way easier, so I have to be focusing on that a little bit more. So we are going to actually buy some daggers this time and try to take out multiple lanes, as opposed to just crushing the middle Ancient. I am going to go ahead and place a Blooming Wall over here. I'm trying to. They're trying to explain me stuff, though. I understand that's an enchantment. We're going to place it over here to block the Sky Mage. And I should be doing 5 damage here to this tower, and then I should be killing 2 towers this turn. So this time it was just way easier. I just didn't, it was a stupid error. I just didn't pay attention to the goal at all. I was trying to just I was playing for peak efficiency as opposed to playing to win, which is just a silly, silly thing to do. You should just play for victory. I'm not going to here, actually. They're blocking with the creep. Good play. Is there trample damage? Melee creep damage. Okay, no, my creep just did 1 damage. Because I haven't seen trample damage so far. Shopping phase. Kind of just buying whatever at this point, just because I have the gold. But he's taken out one tower. I should be totally fine, at least apparently on board. Push a unit. I'm going to start giving buffs around. I have 5 mana access. I'll do a buff here. And then on the left side, I could do a dagger on... You can't put daggers on the minions, actually. You can only put them on. Deal damage to a unit equal to the mana's... mana. So he actually just used an instant. Oh, wow. Or was that just a reaction thing to take out Axe? Oh, man. That was pretty well played. Still, I should be able to play... I can't play dagger on the creep. Oh, that's so awkward. Yeah, this is actually a good thing to do. Can I blink him over here? That's actually super good. That is super good, to be fair. This tower is already taken care of, so I can actually blink him now over here. Go for a dagger. He's gonna blink as well. Oh no. I don't have enough mana for the push. The AI playing pretty darn well here. I'm gonna go for the dagger. I can at least take care of the tiny. The AI being super reactive and playing really well. Once again, difficult card game for the tutorial. We trade there. Man. That's pretty tough stuff for a tutorial. You don't see that very often. I don't have any, like, heroes. I'm just going to skip, I guess. Hero deployment. Yeah, I desperately need some heroes. Tusk. We're going to put Tusk in the middle here and try to take out this tower. I'm looking safe from death at this point, which is nice. We're going to confirm that. Does he have a hero to deploy? We're looking fine. So we've got red in the middle here. How much mana? I have 6 mana. I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of it to do direct damage over to the Crystal Maiden. I shouldn't need to use a dagger here at all. Don't think. I'm going to go ahead and just use this because it's going to spread damage across all of my minions, which is the most beneficial for me right here. And I do have an extra dagger. I'll use that as well. And then I should be safe to go ahead and go into combat. So the fact that he can respond, the opponent can respond to all of these things I'm playing. Once again, really, really in-depth card game. That should be the GGs. There we go. Man, I learned a lot. I learned a lot there. Well played. Now try the campaign. So you have a level. You do have level progression. But once again, I just, as a trading card game, you know, fanatic, I can't imagine a casual trading card game player jumping into this and enjoying that experience. Even or even like veterans or fanatics, like you may get frustrated or feel too embarrassed to continue playing because it's so difficult. Or I just suck, you know, you never really know, but I'm pretty confident in my ability to adapt to new card games. That was pretty shocking. So we've done the tutorial campaign. There's more tutorial. All right, so the basic tutorial has been completed, and honestly, it took around an hour, which isn't bad for a card game that's in-depth as this. I've definitely seen shallower card games take a lot longer to honestly do the tutorials. Let's go ahead and actually jump into the campaign, though. I think that this is the next one. Mission number 1, Transgressions of Taurus, Temple of War. They're going to introduce us to some things after centuries of uneasy deference to the might of Stonehall. The nobles of Terras secretly negotiate to procure soldiers and sell swords, whispering promises of golden plunder and a life free of Emperor Galenius's legion. Okay. New cards for this Legion. It seems like Legion Commander is going to come into this. Start match. Really, really pretty intro screen. Wow. Opponent bot versus Petrowski. Beautiful, beautiful animations. Unironically, it sounds silly and naive, but I think it's true. Like, the animations and aesthetics of a card game are a huge reason why it succeeds. I always do look at Hearthstone. I vehemently hate Hearthstone as a competitive card game, but as a casual mobile phone experience and as sort of a casual card game experience, it's so much fun. It feels so great to play. The tavern aesthetics, the sound effects, the clickiness of all the cards, it's pretty fantastic. All right, so we're starting this. Once again, armor, we haven't really messed with too much. We have Marcus, we have Legion Commander, and then we have Rick's Legionnaire. Legion Commander, obviously being our most powerful person. They also all have... Do they all have abilities? Man, once again, the complexity sort of overwhelming you, even as a veteran card game player. All of these have different abilities that I have to factor in where I play. Whenever Legion Commander strikes a unit and survives, heal Legion Commander by 3. Deal 1 damage to a unit and push it. Jeez Louise. Marcus, behold my glory. Allied, he has a passive effect. Allied heroes in other lanes have +1. And then an active, give Marcus +1 attack this round per allied unit and give allied units -1. There are so many things to... I'm overwhelmed. There's so many things to factor in when placing things here. To play at peak efficiency, this is really, really concerning. I'm going to go ahead and place my strongest, aka Legion Commander, in the middle lane. That's just kind of been the pattern that I do. I seem to be having a fully red deck. This guy placed Centaur War Runner in the middle lane there. Ignores negative. Okay, ignores negative effects. Next up, okay, how can we do this? Let's see. 1 damage to me. I'm going to go ahead and put... I'm going to focus on left and middle lanes in terms of victory. Ooh, that's unfortunate, though, for me. I'm going to use Marcus. I'm going to let my right lane kind of lose, but just keep him to hopefully benefit my other lanes, because I believe his effect, yeah, it gives +1 attack to everything else. These 2 towers taken down. All right, that's the plan. I agree. 2 towers taken down seems a lot easier than destroying the Ancient. So I need some more damage here. Neighbors have +3. Applies to use unless they're given an area. 3 mana this turn to use. Caster battles another hero. Give the winner +1 permanently. That's a really cool on-theme thing for Legion Commander. I like that. Bronze Legion, another character, another hero I can play. At least my Legion isn't dying this turn. I'll actually be taking 3 damage and trading off here really easily, and then healing it off with my effect. That's really, really good, this sort of little trade interaction. I might just go ahead and place a Bronze Legionnaire over here in sort of the middle section. But this middle section might actually already be, like, taken care of. I might just want to go ahead and place it. No, I think that's the right play. I think that's the right play. I think it's actually tough. I'm going to go here. Place another creature over in that middle section. The little text, the fact that they say something every time you play a card feels really nice. All right, this guy is going to try to take on this guy, but I should have... Let's see. We only get 1 card play. I guess I have nothing else to do. There we go. Decent combat for me. The Legion Commander heals, which is super nice. This guy will be taken out here in a split second. This buy phase, I feel like, is going to be really important. Summon a random Grieval. Heal 4. I feel like Healing Blade is going to be super good here. After combat, increased by 1 +3. This could also... I only have 19 gold, so I can only buy 1 of these 10 gold things. How do I... Yeah, View Board is actually something I really, really want. So, I might go the heal thing on this. Or just the sword, honestly, on this guy might be great. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Healing Blade. I really like that effect. Being able to just give him some bonus HP or damage and heal him. Lucolo Pop. Okay. Taunt. When a unit taunts all of adjacent enemies, their combat... What is this phrasing? When a unit taunts all of its adjacent enemies... Oh, it's explaining what taunt is. Okay. Cutting Boast. He taunts. Targets reset each round. Change their combat to that target. Has +1 retaliate. Retaliate is when a unit... There's so many mechanics being totally introduced to me all at once. Having played a million different card games, this is still insanely overwhelming. When a unit strikes another unit with retaliate, the striking unit takes retaliated damage. I don't understand. They didn't slowly introduce anything here. Maybe they're assuming you played Artifact Classic heading into Artifact Foundry, but this is truly overwhelming. Okay, interesting. Okay, sure. So I can just place this guy for free somewhere, right? I probably just place him over here. I'm trying to win on the left and middle sides. I still have 4 mana. I confirm that, though. Sure. I'm just stalling on the other situations. Choose caster and an adjacent enemy. Swap caster in front of that enemy, then battle it. What? Honor Guard. Bronze Legion has +2 and +2 for each per neighboring hero. That's really solid. +2 and +2 per neighboring hero. That's pretty good. That's 4 mana. I have 4 mana to do this turn. I could put 3. I'm gonna go ahead and do this on this guy to get a little heal off. Then I'll probably play this guy. Or actually, I could go for the duel. You know what? The duel is actually really good here, so I could kill this guy at the same time. I can either use this guy to duel him and kill him and then get damage off, or... Is there a better duel over here, actually, to be fair? I could duel over here. This time, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go for the... I'm not winning this turn no matter what. I'm going to go for the Legion Bearer right there. Play him, buff both of these guys. Oof. Ooh, what did he do here? Stun an... What? Stun an enemy? He made my Legion dude have 0 attack? That's what stun does? Oh, in typical Dota fashion. Stuns and CC crowd control is going to be broken. Okay, that's unfortunate. I only have this for a random Greevil. I don't know if I want this. I'm going to skip, honestly. Oh, jeez. What an insane effect here. I have Bristleback to play here. I'm going to put him over... What is this? 4, 5? I'm going to put him over here. Confirm that. Tidehunter's coming in over here. Nasal Goo. You have -3 defense. There, once again, I'm overwhelmed. There's so many things that I could possibly do here to maybe win the game that I'm trying to figure out what the best option is. Honor Guard. Oh my goodness. Play effect. Taunt. Do I play that in the left side? Is that the best way to win this game? Like, what is the best way to win this game? I actually don't have a good answer, unfortunately. I'm so overwhelmed / distracted. I'm going to throw this guy over here. It feels pretty solid. We get +2. Making him a 5/3. That's horrible. How do I have -1? I have -1. Wait, what the hell just happened? Each unit with the Keith the Bulldozer Combat strikes itself. Okay, so that just died. What is happening? I am so... Oh, man. 3 lanes. Every call. Look at this. Can you show this board? This is mission 1, by the way. Mission 1 of this game. Could you show this board to a player and tell them what to do? This is unbelievable. I love a deep card game. I truly do. I love a deep card game as much as the next guy, right? But this is something else. This feels pretty astounding. So I have 1 mana left to use an effect. Don't even push it. Deal 1 damage to his enemies. He taunts. I'm going to do this. I think this is the best play. How do I even... Okay. Use his taunt. It's gonna distract them to fight over here and then hopefully allow me to do damage, I assume is the play. Choose an allied. It taunts. Okay, he's taunting over here, I guess. That's fine. Okay, 1 damage, 1 HP left on this tower, 4 on this. He's done 19 over here. You have a huge benefit having all the HPs and everything, but the complications are just overwhelming. I have a lot of gold. 32 gold. Adjacent creeps are rooted. Have -2, -2, and +1 bounty. Adjacent creeps are rooted. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go for this. +4 damage, which are going to tower. I'm going to buy that for sure. We're going to go next. I just want to be able to kill a tower, essentially. Or kill, yeah, all the towers here possible. Caster battles another. Bronzer Legion. I just play him here. Trying to kill this tower. I should have 1 damage. Well, should I have 1 damage to actually kill this? I think I have to do something. What is he doing? He's like Tidehunter alting me? Oh my goodness. I don't have a way to do 1 damage here, do I? That's actually crazy. I don't think I have a way to do 1 damage here. Caster battles in the here. Well, actually, no, the way I can do this. So I can have... Oh, I can't make the treat battle. It's only heroes. Oh, man. I could give... Nope. Once again, I can't enchant random creatures. It's only the main heroes, which is such a weird... Oh, I don't like that mechanic. -3 durability permanently. Could I just use that to kill this? Nope, I can't cast that over here. I have to cast it over here. Oh, geez Louise. Geez Louise. There's not a whole lot I can even do here then. Deal 1 damage to adjacent enemies. That doesn't really do much. I don't have a whole lot going on here. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't have a whole lot I can do here. Here, what I can do is... This guy, give this guy -3 defense. My opponent still has 5 mana, which is a lot. which is pretty scary. Oh, it's -5 armor, not -5 defense. Oh, come on. I guess buff this guy. I don't even see the point here. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to kill this tower, but I'm not going to be able to kill this tower. I'm in a really awkward position. Sure. Like, I'm not going to die anytime soon, but I don't feel good about this fight, you know? It hasn't felt very powerful. Now, I do have a blink scroll, which is nice, so I can blink some guys over to this to hopefully help over here. I'm going to pass on this shop. Hero deployment. I have so many heroes to deploy all of a sudden. Okay. I'm going to place this guy over here so I can hopefully taunt things. I assume I can place multiple guys in one situation. Okay, perfect. We're going to place this guy. Worst case scenario, I try to spread and hit different locations. I'll put this over here so I can maybe even get this if I have to. I only need to defeat 2 towers once again. Destroy the ancient or 2 towers. We're going to confirm our placements. We're going to see their placements. This should kill here for sure. Obviously, I have a lot going on. This should kill over here if I need to. Caster has +1 miss per missing HP. Sure, that's fine. You can just cast another guy. Duel. I can go ahead and do the duel. I don't know who to give this to. He's going to be fighting over here. I'm going to give this to this guy, I guess. I've got 7 mana. So much mana. It's ridiculous. I'm going to go for the duel, I think. Give it -2 defense. Sure, I guess. Okay. I'm going to go for the duel and have Legion duel this guy. Try to take him out. This is pretty cool. Theme-wise and aesthetic-wise, that looks pretty freaking nice. I'm not going to lie. Now, Legion wins and gets the damage buff. Has +2 per neighboring loyal beast. Sure, that's fine, I guess. Enemy swap caster in front of... Swap caster in front of that enemy in battle? I don't understand. This all should be fine, I think. I'm trying to look out for things. Have it battle. Choose caster in an adjacent enemy. Swap caster in front of that. So what if I do this? Are they going to swap and have them fight? That's what I want to happen here. Okay, perfect. This should be enough to win the game. But I don't feel like all of my actions were optimal, which probably should happen in a new card game, but not to this extent. I feel so lost in terms of peak efficiency playing. There is mission number 1 complete. I just feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm not grasping the game. You get a pack. That's kind of cool. The 3-lane thing. There's so many cool elements, but they're not being introduced to you slowly. They're being thrown all... Like, the fact that every single hero has an ability, and you're jumping into that mission 1 is unbelievable. And you have to not only track your own abilities and use them at optimal time, but track your opponent's abilities. This is a shockingly complex card game, which I feel usually able to grasp and jump into pretty often. And I think I'm just repeating the same thing at this point. Let's go ahead and open a pack. Let's open a pack in Artifact. Cool animation. You gotta have it to get people to spend money. But thankfully, I believe you actually can't buy packs anymore. That was one of the cooler things they did is once they stopped supporting the game and updating it, they kind of, they stopped the ability to buy packs, which is honestly a really wholesome thing to do because they don't want you to be spending your money on a game that's no longer being supported. I can respect that a ton. Are any of these cards good? Spitting Greevel, kind of funny. Better late than never. Thieving Greevel. We see Murano over here. That's a cool hero opening. Other than that, is there another pack that I have? No, I have 0 owned packs. Okay. Artifact is, for better or for worse, easily one of the most, if not the most, convoluted card games I've ever played. I usually critique card games for being too simple and too shallow, and you need a card game to be complicated enough to where you can't master it for years and years and years. Or a good card game should never be masterable in true theory. Magic the Gathering has been out for 25, 30 years, and I feel like nobody's truly mastered that game. There's always new adaptations. There's always new interactions with new cards to old cards, etc., etc. I'm of the opinion that Hearthstone could be mastered by a monkey within 6 months. That may be fair. It may not be fair. It's hard to tell. Artifact, I don't know if this game could be understood by a new player for like 2 weeks. That's the issue, is like this game is so convoluted, so complex that No wonder it failed. It feels standoffish not only to new players, but to veteran tier card game players. I feel like you would feel overwhelmed tremendously while playing this game. I'm shocked. I can't believe who approved this, how it became okay. I like what they were going for, and I like the innovation. There's a lot of new things that are happening in Artifact that I've never seen in other games, or that are taken from and implemented in a different way, unique enough to Artifact. But I don't see myself playing this game anymore unless I were to be totally obsessed with it and play it as my main game. If you're not playing Artifact as your main game, fucking good luck, dude. This game seems wickedly... If you take a break from Artifact, good luck getting back into it. Magic the Gathering, an incredibly deep game, can be learned pretty quickly, in my opinion, and can be kind of dropped in and out of. You may have to learn new cards and new interactions, but dropped in and out of decently effectively. Artifact feels like one of the most standoffish games I've ever played, and I just wouldn't recommend it. Like, I could see some beauty here for a very specific niche audience, but I would never recommend anybody play this game. I'm so glad I really had this experience today, and now I can super understand why Artifact failed. I was super looking forward to coming into this and having a positive perspective and saying, oh, I actually, this game shouldn't have failed. Like, oh, it got a bad rep. Like, there's a ton of fantastic card games that fail, and it's sad to see. It's frustrating because they do a great job, and it's always unfortunate to see them run out of players. Artifact makes too much sense to why it failed. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this experience. If you would disagree with me, let me know politely in the comments. If you agree, whatever, that's cool. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you understand where I'm coming from. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for videos every other day. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace, Reno. Don't play Artifact.